Issue point and good in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, burning news for you guys because Arsenal are facing Chelsea tonight, and it's gonna be a really good game. But the first part is that let's actually rule out certain important things. Well, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta admits that Nicola Pepe is already in a catch-22 situation over his Arsenal fortunes. Yes. Well, he's finding it tough to give Pepe a slot in the opening ones. The big reason is quite really funny because here's what Arteta has actually had to say about Nicola Pepe. He says, if he is willing to learn and willing to work hard, I assure he has potential to be top, absolutely top. The problem is only confidence will only come when he plays, but he has to train well enough to convince the manager I am confident enough to play him. Arteta puts Pepe's stuttering start to his Premier League career following a summer switch down to a mixture of things. He says it is obviously a big chance from France to come here, as well as he found a team that at that moment probably wasn't performing at its best. Well, he insists that Nicolas Pepe is part of his plans. He says it was obviously a big chance, and the environment wasn't the best for him to settle. It is not only about him. We are here. Uh, if he is willing to learn and willing to work hard, I assure he has potential to be absolutely top. Today against Bournemouth, in two or three actions, he has shown how good he can be, but he has to be consistent. The problem is confidence will only come when he plays. So, moving on. Well, Tony Cascarino, former Chelsea star, couldn't believe Arsenal wanted to sign David Luiz from Chelsea. He says, when Arsenal bought the Brazil defender in the summer of for £8 million, I knew that Chelsea's reaction was, wow, they've taken our poorest defender. You have that familiar image of him chasing after a forward who has got behind him. Opponents always know that the 32-year-old will give them space by wandering out of position. He is a fine footballer who sprays the ball around well, but for a player with so much experience, his defending is not good enough. I don't think so. There's something wrong in what Tony Cascarino said, but that is not how we responded when we actually got David Luiz. It didn't turn out to be good. Had it been good, I think not many would have spoken. Not many would have spoken against it. But moving on, Arsenal have informed Napoli that midfielder Lucas Torreira is not for sale in January. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal are not prepared to sell him. Torreira's agent Pablo Bentancur had this to say: I must say the change of role has hurt him. He is no longer at ease, and we hope that things can change. We have no problem with Arsenal, only word of thanks. Clearly, there is interest in him. I have never sat down with any club to talk about a transfer. This is because of the great respect we have for the Gunners. We sat down with Arsenal's general manager, and he immediately told us that Torreira wasn't for sale. Moving on. Manchester United, Arsenal, and Aston Villa are prepared to fight for Calvin Phillips, the Leeds United star. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the midfielder Phillips' fine form has helped lead to second in the championship table. He's 24, he's a product of Leeds United Academy and has played 157 games for his hometown club. But he will not come for cheap because the bidding war is really high and is actually catching fire. He is rated at £40 million. He's really good. I mean, winning tackles and winning the ball, and it is really, really quick. So I think as an Englishman, he would be a really good catch for Arsenal. But moving on, Wilfried Zaha could be tempted away from Crystal Palace with Chelsea. Arsenal and Manchester United again interested. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Shaka Hislop had this to say: listen, he had time at Manchester United, didn't go so well. He's improved no end as a player since then, but given the uncertainty around that first spell and the number of clubs that are interested in Wilfried Zaha, I just have a feeling that he'll stay closer to London. He's been linked incessantly with Arsenal. Between them and Chelsea, I think, is more likely than United. But moving on, Arsenal are definitely making a very funny statement in this January transfer window by naming Mesut Ozil and Shkodran Mustafi in the selling list. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is known that Arsenal are definitely going to put Shkodran Mustafi and Mesut Ozil in the transfer list so that they could be sold off to some different clubs. Well, we all know what is happening with Mohamed El Neni, putting everything, to go to AC Milan. And we all know that many players, even Shaka has actually made sure that his move to Hertha Berlin is just a matter of days when the January transfer window opens up and Shaka becomes a Hertha Berlin player. So let's see what Arsenal will come up with. If definitely they're definitely going to sign somebody in January. They have 1 month to go, but very important games coming up. So how will they perform, and how will they perform against Chelsea? Let's know how it happens, and make sure you actually hit the subscribe button and get all the notifications of all the videos by hitting that bell icon as well, because you get 2 videos about Arsenal every single day. All about the Arsenal stuff is coming on this platform every single day, twice. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon, and make sure you support Arsenal tonight because they are facing Chelsea, one of the biggest games in the Arteta era, and it couldn't be big because Frank Lampard is definitely getting some good results for Chelsea as well. So for them to stay in the top 4, they have to win. For us to make sure that we have anything in us to actually challenge for that top 4 position or in the top 6 position, we need to win the game. We need to start winning again, and that starts with this game. So will Arteta come up with something good? Let's see how things will pan out to be. Just get behind our boys, just support Arsenal no matter what. Stop criticizing Arteta substitutions for now, because you guys need to understand Arteta's philosophy as much as the players should. So I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers.